All right, so here is the review for the midterm. So this is chapter 1, and like I said earlier, you're going to see tests, you're going to see problems that are the exact same problems on the midterm. Not every single problem, because they're only having 40 problems, right? And half of them are going to be from chapter 4. So there may be, I don't know, 5 or 6, let's see, maybe, no, there'll probably be about maybe 10 from this one, 10 from chapter 3, and then 20 from chapter 4. Does that sound about right? Don't quote me on the 10 and 10. It might be 9 and 11, who knows, but you'll see the exact same problems. This one right here, I can almost guarantee you that this will be on the midterm. List the 3 undefined terms. Anybody remember the 3 undefined terms, Johnny? Yeah. So I always say point, line, and plane, but it doesn't make any difference what order you put them in. All right, so there you go. Everybody's got 100 so far, right? Point, line, and plane, those are the 3 undefined terms. We don't have definitions for those. All right. Now, we do have definitions for these other things. And this thing right here, collinear, is one of our definitions. Anybody remember what collinear means? If it's collinear, what's it do? There are points that do what? They're on the same line. That's right. They lie on the same line. So you come over here. Do you see one line with 3 points on it? Well, you got this line going across like this. Does that have 3 points on it? No, it's just got P and T. What about this up and down one? Nope, it's just got T and R. What about this one that's diagonal? Yeah, you got Q, you got S, and you got T. So name the 3 collinear points. It would be Q, S, and T. Pretty easy, right? You just have to know what that word means. If you don't know what that word means, then you're sunk. All right, you got to know the definition of that word. All right, what about this? Here's another word, concurrent. So the lines are concurrent. What does that mean? The lines do what? They all intersect each other, okay? They intersect each other at one point. So are there 3 lines that intersect each other at one point? And what's the point? Where do they intersect each other? Yeah, they intersect at point T. Everybody see that? So what are the lines? We got to name the lines. So this line going across the top, let's name that. What would we name that line right there? PT. Now, you don't just write PT. What do you write?
Just a reminder, middle
line with arrows. Okay.
All
right, so that's one of the lines. What are the other 2 lines that intersect at that point? RT. All right, this one going up and down. All right, so we call it RT. Now, you could have called it TR, right? It wouldn't make any difference. What's the other one? QT. All right, cutie line. It's a cute line. So Q and T. Now, you could have called it something else, too. You didn't have to call it QT. You could have called it ST. You could have called it QS, right, because it keeps going. And you could have gone backwards. You could have called it TS, SQ, TQ. Any of those would be possibilities, but they'd have to all line that. We don't use 3. Just because there's 3 points, do we put 3 points in our line? No, you just pick 2 of them. And again, it doesn't matter which 2. I'll pick Q and T. Put the little line over top of it. And there you go. Those are your 3 concurrent lines.
What's the definition of concurrent?
It means they all intersect at one point, okay? So you could have more than 3. In this situation, there are not more than 3. Right? Even if you had 2 lines, they could be concurrent, but it asks for 3 of them. So they have to intersect at the same point. There's the point right there where all 3 of those points intersect. So QR, would that be one of ours? Would that be a possibility for one of our 3 concurrent lines if I said line QR? Why not?
Because
It doesn't intersect at T, does it? All right, so you can't use QR because it doesn't go through T. We good? You remember this stuff now? All right. Now this one says draw a picture. I don't have much room here. Usually I give you an answer sheet for this. But draw a picture illustrating this. Line PQ on plane K. I'll tell you what. Let's scooch this over. Let's get rid of some stuff. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. There we go. Give myself some room here. Plane K. How do I draw a plane on a piece of paper? Yeah, it's kind of like a slanted rectangle, I guess. We're going to learn in the Is it the next chapter? No, it's the chapter after that. I think it's chapter 6. We're going to learn about stuff like this. Okay? So it's actually a parallelogram. So plane K. How do we, put it in the corner, okay? It's a little thick. Let me make it like that. Okay, plane K. Now, line PQ, it's on the plane. So what does that mean? Yeah, you can say it's in it. Okay, same thing. In it, on it, doesn't make any difference. And then it's PQ. So what do we have to do to put PQ? Yeah, put a point here, call one of them P, call one of them Q. I know that's kind of small, sorry about that, but you get the idea. That's all you got to do for that. It's not too hard, is it? Let's do another one, number 5. It says line N, intersecting plane F. So we got another plane there and another line, and it intersects at point P. So, and it only intersects at one point, so it goes through the plane, right? It's not on it, it goes through it. So we draw it just a little bit differently. So what's the first thing I'm going to draw here? I would draw the plane. Let's make it just a little bit bigger than what we made that other one. It's not that pretty, but you get the idea. So it's plane F. It doesn't matter. Does it have to be in the top right like I did that one? No, any of the corners, it doesn't make any difference. I'll just put it down here on the bottom right. That's plane F. Now, we have to have a line that intersects the plane and it intersects at point P. So let's say that that's point P right there. And I got a line that goes boom, boom, boom. That's dotted, dot, 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 dot. And then it's solid coming out the other like that. What's up with the dot, dot, dots? Why did I do that? Yeah, it's showing that it goes through. It's kind of like the back of the plane, like it's behind the plane, but you just can't see it. That's what the dot, dot, dot represents. Now, we got to name the line, because if I didn't name the line, I wouldn't get it right. So it's line what? N. So do I put a point and put an N there? No, a lowercase. Oops, there's that thing again. Okay, there we go. That's supposed to be an N. It's kind of ugly. That's a lowercase n. That's capital P. That's a lowercase f. And that's what that would look like right there. Now, I haven't made up the test yet, the midterm, but if I did, I would probably pick just like one of these. Everybody got that? Like right here, I would pick either number 2 or 3, and then I'd pick either number 4 or 5. So if you have one where there's 2 problems associated with it, I'll probably only pick one of them. Everybody good with that? Okay. All right, let's take a look at this one. You see everything up there? Yeah. This says, use figure 2, so use this line right here with all these points on it. What is the endpoint of YW? Now, this thing has only got one arrow on it. What's that? It's not a line, it's a what? It's a ray. We haven't talked a whole lot lately about rays, but we did quite a bit there for a while. All right. Let me change this back to red. Okay. So that is a ray. Now, I don't even need this picture to be able to do number 6. It says, what is the endpoint of YW? Ray YW. So a ray, the endpoint of the ray, remember what a ray does. It starts at one point and it keeps on going forever in the other direction. So where does this one start? Without even looking at this picture, it starts at Y, doesn't it? Everybody see that? So it starts at Y. So what is the endpoint of this? Without even looking at the picture, it's just Y. That's it, point Y. And I just need to put a Y there. I don't even have to put the word point in front of it. I don't need to put a dot. I just put Y. That's it, capital. Now this one you do need a picture. It says name ray XZ in another way. So where's ray XZ? XZ starts here at X and it goes through Z and it keeps on going. So that's our ray. It says name it in another way. How else could I name ray XZ? Well, it's got to start at X. So what other point do you know? You know Y, so I could call this ray XY. Again, put the little X or the little arrow thing over top of it. Why didn't I put arrows on both ends like I did up here? It's not a line, it's a ray. That's right. And a ray only has an arrow in one direction. You with me on that? All right. Okay, that was easy. Let's keep moving. We're using this picture. Now we're going to some angles. It says state another name for angle 1. So where's angle 1? It's this angle right here. So what's another name for angle 1? We could use letters now to name angle 1. Now, it's super important. Even in my honors class, we went over this problem today, and a couple people got it wrong. They said PQR. Is PQR an angle? It's not. Okay, if you name an angle, where does the letter P in this case have to be? It's got to be in the middle. That's right. So I could name it what? QPR or RPQ. It doesn't make any difference, okay? So I'll let you write that down. I'm not going to write it down. So you could name it angle QPR. Actually, I will write it down. Put the little angle symbol in front of it, and then QPR. Remember, P is the vertex. Remember that word? Right there. The vertex always has to be in the middle when you name an angle. All right? Number 9. Name a point in the interior of angle RPT. Well, let's figure out where RPT is. It's RPT. Okay? See that? So all this stuff right here, that's the interior of angle RPT. What point is inside that angle? S. Okay? You can't say R because R is not in the interior. R actually makes up the angle, doesn't it? Okay, you can't say T, you can't say P because they're part of the angle itself. The interior means what's all inside of it. Not part of the angle, but inside. Well, S is the only point that's inside that angle, so it would just be point S. Well, there I go again. Keep pushing these buttons on the pen. So point S would be the answer for that. This one says, name 3 angles that have ray PQ as a side. So I'll tell you what, let's get rid of some of that mess. All right. Name 3 angles that have ray PQ as a side. We'll find out where ray PQ is. It's this one right here. Name 3 angles that have this as one of the sides. Well, we already named one earlier, didn't we? QPR, isn't that one of them? Yep, got it right here. Okay, so that's one of them. What else could you name? QPT, and what else? QPS. That's right. Everybody see that? Because that means, because Q and P, or this ray PQ, is part of all 3 of those angles. So that would be your answer. I'll let you write them down. Yes, sir. No freeze on the midterm. Sorry. No freeze on the midterm. I do like you, but you still got to do all the problems. All right, let's take a look at this one. It says find each distance or angle. There's no angles here, so we're finding the distance. Now, we have to find, what are they asking you to find? They're asking you to find DE. Why doesn't it have a line over top of it? It's not an angle. It's a line segment. We're finding the length of it, okay? We're finding the length of it. So when you find the length of something, they don't put the arrow on top of it or the line segment over top of it, okay? That means you're finding the length of DE and the length of EF. So we're trying to find how much, how long is that little segment? And then we're also trying to find EF. How long is that segment right there? What do they tell you, though? They tell you that DF is 138. So let me write that in here. Boom, boom, 138. So that whole thing from D to F is 138. They told us that. So what we got to do, we got to figure out what's DE and what's EF. So what do you think we're going to do first before we actually find how long each of those segments are? Do these 2 segments equal each other? You don't know that they equal each other. They might, but we don't know. Okay? They add up to equal what? 138. Okay? So this segment right here, it's like this. You got a length here, and you got a length here. Those 2 add up to be from here to here. Does that make sense? Okay. So what do we do with these then? We add them up, don't we? Let's see. Do I have any room over here? Let's get rid of some of these things. Get rid of that. All right. So let's add them up. And you're like, how in the world do I add up these things right here? Well, we took algebra, didn't you? Last year. So you add them up and you set them equal to what? What do they add up to be? Oh my gosh, I forgot it's Wednesday. I was thinking we had till 2:30. All right, well, we'll finish this up tomorrow. We'll go a little faster tomorrow. I know I talked a lot today. But anyway, there you go. You solve for x. Once you solve for x, you plug it back in. I don't know what the answer is off the top of my head, but that's how you do it. All right, we'll finish this tomorrow.